Just tell me when we're running and I'll be
Right. Right. I'm going now.
Okay. There's an animated film that's just been released in Hollywood called Brave. I think it's called Brave, and it's been getting quite a lot of media attention, certainly in the Scottish media, because Scottish Tourist Board have actually ploughed £7 million into the film, which they're seeing as a means of getting more tourists to come and visit Scotland. And of course, you know, it's being embraced by the BBC and the mainstream press. But to me, that's a big problem, because I don't actually think in Scotland we've actually moved that far away from the powers that be, just regarding filmmaking and the film industry as a means to bring in tourists. And to me, it's a very kind of old-fashioned kind of colonial approach to having a film industry. And also, I've never actually seen any figures that really prove that because, for example, a film's made in Fife or a film's made here or there, that it actually does to any extent really boost the local economy, apart from the occasional taxi driver or the occasional hotel benefiting from it. Because most movies are incredibly self-sufficient. So when a movie moves into an area, they actually mainly bring all their own people with them. That tends to be the way the kind of movie industry works. So I suppose my first question as a kind of indigenous Scottish filmmaker would be, that is an absolutely vast waste of money. You know, where's the £7 million coming from? Well, it's coming from taxpayers basically, and I know for a fact that £7 million could be much better spent in terms of financing real Scottish movies, backing Scottish filmmakers, and perhaps even creating some kind of studio complex, which we still don't have. So I suppose that kind of brings me on to my kind of experience of being a Scottish filmmaker. I'd probably say being a Scottish filmmaker is actually quite difficult, to be honest. It's probably one of the reasons why so few people do it, or why so many Scottish filmmakers have had to go south or even abroad. Certainly working in the kind of mainstream industry with kind of budgets of £500,000 to £5 million, which is usually the kind of industry's main focus. But it's interesting, over the past few years there's certainly been a lot of changes in terms of technology, and I think those technological changes have actually enabled more Scottish films to be made, but probably not the kind of Scottish films that the public, or perhaps even the mainstream media, would imagine are actually being made. I'm presently directing a piece called The Legend of Black Diamond, which is going to be cut as a 90-minute movie, released on DVD, and it'll also get an internet release in terms of showing it as 10 episodes. But certainly in paper it's not your traditional Scottish movie, and also in paper most experts would actually say to me or to anybody else it can't actually be made, because it's within a fantasy genre, steampunk. It has an ambitious storyline with many characters and also many props, which on the face of it you'd regard as being quite expensive. Everything from motorbikes to trains to stunts to pyrotechnics to complicated costumes. But one thing I certainly learned as a Scottish filmmaker who primarily works within kind of the kind of fantasy genres is there's actually an awful lot you can do, because filmmaking and people's experiences of filmmaking are actually, even to this day, actually quite slim. There's a vast reservoir of kind of interest and expertise and enthusiasm that you can actually call upon to make a film, and that's certainly something I've been doing with the Legend of Black Diamond.
Thank you very much, Mr. Campbell.